Right now.
New this noon, former state senator Carlos Uresti is now out of federal prison.
That's right. He was sentenced to 12 years in prison, but only served 4 years and 4 months. Eric Hernandez is in Bastrop with more on Uresti's release.
Carlos Uresti's attorney, Michael Watts, confirming to us through text message that he had been released from this federal prison here in Bastrop and transferred to a halfway house. He just didn't know when that transfer and release took place. Now, Watts yesterday sent a press release that Uresti was released early due to good conduct because of the First Step Act that gives credit for time served. In 2018, Uresti was found guilty of 11 different felony counts dealing with money laundering and fraud. He was also found guilty of bribery in a separate case. Not only was Uresti sentenced 12 years in prison, but he was also ordered to pay more than $6 million in restitution to the people he defrauded. In a press release, Uresti is quoted saying he is a better man and that through his journey he has emerged wiser, healthier, and happier. Now, Watt didn't know how long Uresti would be in a halfway house, but for now he has been released from federal prison. In Bastrop, Erica Hernandez, KSAT12 News.
All right, taking you outside with live cam. We have got a little bit of clouds out there, Justin. Is this affecting our highs right now? It looks a little bit cooler, I guess you could say that.
Looks that way. It looks that way. In theory, it should help us a little bit, but temperatures have warmed up in spite of those clouds. We're sitting in the low 90s right now. Still quite a bit of humidity too, so we've got a heat index to contend with. Let me show you the cloud cover here on the visible satellite picture. And by the way, yesterday we stayed below 100. That is the idea again today. We're thinking upper 90s. Some places could touch triple digits, at least briefly, but the clouds are fairly widespread, stretching across the area. So we've got partly to mostly cloudy skies here in San Antonio right now. But as I said, temperatures have managed to warm up in spite of that. 92 at the airport, 86 Kerrville, 90 in Hondo, 95. The typical hot spots down there in Cotulla and Carrizo Springs. 91 at Stinson, 91 at Randolph, and we've got mid-80s in the Hill Country. Here's the feels like number. Humidity is going to drop some this afternoon, but at the moment we've got heat indices closing in on 100 and above that mark in Pleasanton and New Braunfels. So yes, it is still a steamy day out there. The feels like numbers should jump up to around 102. That's probably where it peaks. With a high temperature somewhere around 99. We may touch 100 just looking at the numbers right now. 96 at 7 o'clock, 94 at 8 p.m. And look for those numbers to drop back down into the 80s. Tonight, clouds build back in. We do this all again tomorrow. So when do things finally change? When can we talk about rain chances? That would be next week, and we'll have more on that in just a couple minutes, guys.
Thank you very much, Justin. Well, it seems nature was the backdrop for a late-night murder.
San Antonio police are investigating a deadly shooting on one of the city's walking trails. A 27-year-old man targeted by 2 men with guns along the Leon Creek Greenway. And as Katrina Weber reports, they believe robbery was the motive.
The cooler morning air made the Leon Creek trails tough for some to resist. But tales of what happened here last night have others keeping their distance from this particular walk in the park.
They told me they heard gunshots last night, and we were going down to the store, and I live over here, like right down the street.
Debbie Eshelman drove up this morning to see if what she heard was true. San Antonio police say someone shot a man along the Greenway not far from the Border Brook trailhead. The victim, identified as 27-year-old Francisco de los Santos, died later at a hospital.
I was going to go walking that trail, too. Nope, not happening. Nope. I like my life.
No, I don't even come in here. I don't even walk in there at all.
While Alicia Herrera avoids the area, police say De Los Santos was walking the trail with a friend sitting on a cliff when 2 gunmen showed up just before 10 last night. Police say the men tried to rob him, then shot him when he resisted. They got away. Based on the sign, the trail technically was closed at the time of the shooting. Now, this also shows this is not the first time there have been gunshots here. It's full of bullet holes.
Very dark at night, like they need to put at least light, or they could put a gate too as well, so that nobody could go in there.
Early this morning, we saw park police making their presence known here. But for some people, it's still not enough. The murder has killed any plans they had to enjoy these trails. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
New at noon, police do not have much to go on as they search for a driver who hit and killed a woman on the south side. Officers found the woman just after midnight on South Florida Street near Southwest Military Drive. They believe a driver hit the woman and then just kept going without stopping to help her. Police do not have a description of that driver or their vehicle. The victim was pronounced dead at the scene.
A man left for dead on a San Antonio street. Now police are trying to figure out what happened to him and who's responsible. An EMS crew found the victim around 3 this morning on Ritterman Road, not far from I-35 on the northeast side. Police think a driver hit the man and then took off. The EMS crew did say they noticed a reckless driver just before finding the victim. It's not clear if that person had anything to do with the hit and run. So far, officers have not made any arrests in connection with this case. Now to the latest on a judge's ruling over public records of the Uvalde shooting. Since May 24th of last year, police have pointed the finger at law enforcement, asking why officers waited more than an hour to confront the shooter. So now a district judge has ordered the Department of Public Safety to start releasing public records about law enforcement and how they responded to the shooting. However, DPS could fight that order and appeal. We have the full story right now on KSAT12.
Two major Supreme Court rulings came down today. One allows certain businesses to refuse service to LGBTQ+ people. The court also ruled against President Biden's student loan forgiveness plan. ABC's M. Nguyen explains the effect these rulings will have across the country.
In a major Supreme Court decision impacting the LGBTQ+ community, justices ruled 6-3 in favor of an evangelical Christian web designer from Colorado who refused to work on same-sex weddings. The 6 conservatives on the court held the First Amendment right to free speech bars the state from forcing the plaintiff, Lori Smith, from creating designs with messages to which she disagrees. Colorado's anti-discrimination law prohibits discriminating against LGBTQ+ people and requires that any business that's open to the public must serve all equally. Smith claimed obeying that law would force her to endorse gay marriage and violate her First Amendment right.
A website is my canvas, and I cherish the freedom to express unique and custom messages that celebrate causes that I'm passionate about.
Justice Neil Gorsuch wrote that Colorado would seek to force Smith to defy her conscience about a matter of major significance. The dissent firing back with Justice Sonia Sotomayor writing, there has been a backlash to the movement for liberty and equality. New forms of inclusion have been met with reactionary exclusion. This is heartbreaking. And the Supreme Court also dealt a major defeat to the Biden administration, ruling against the president's student loan forgiveness program, which would have wiped out up to $20,000 in debt for millions of borrowers. The White House had approved the plan under the HEROES Act, but Republican states pushed back, accusing the administration of executive overreach. The court agreed with the states. A source within the White House says they strongly disagree with this ruling against Biden's student loan forgiveness plan, saying the president is not done fighting yet. At the Supreme Court, M. Nguyen, ABC News.
Coming up in just a bit, the Spurs are back on the court for Summer League ball. We'll hear from some of the guys on what to expect this week as they plan for summer hoops without Wemby in California.
Keep cool, have fun, and learn something. You can do all three at a local museum. A look at the offerings that are perfect for students during the summer break. Welcome back. If you're trying to keep cool this summer, the Bristol Western Art Museum has an educational series with activities focused on science, technology, engineering, art, and math, or STEAM. We explored some of the fun activities for families to enjoy.
When you come here, you're going to see 3 floors of amazing art and artifacts.
This summer, the Bristol Western Art Museum is offering a wide range of programming with something for everyone to enjoy.
This is a way in the olden days that they would weigh their goods.
These are some of the activities from their Full Steam Ahead series.
Our Full Steam Ahead program is a way that we take our art and we connect it to science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and of course the art that we love here at the Briscoe.
Amber Pfeiffer with the museum says these activities will take place on the first Sunday of every month at the Briscoe. Locals are welcome to participate for free.
We've had opportunities to do a simple short circuit where we take the clouds and the imagery from our art and we turn it into a technology and have a simple circuit right there that's going to light up.
The programs will give families an opportunity to enjoy a memorable experience and learn about different subjects together.
If they come down and they see some great art, but then they do some art and really participate in this activity together, they're really going to remember that for a lifetime.
And I had so much fun out there this morning. So many different activities, but also we were inside.
Yes.
So it was cool.
I was going to say, yeah, if I had a chance to do a summer camp like that and be inside, I'd be all over it.
Yeah, I'm waiting for my energy bill and I just don't want to look at it. I don't even want to see what it says. It's not going to be pretty. But that's where we have been so far this summer. The temperatures have been kind of off the charts. We're starting to come back down a little bit with these numbers. The aquifer, though, really headed down. It's down 0.7 of a foot to 633. That's the lowest it's been since last year, and it's still going down. We desperately need some rain. Molds and pigweed are in the low category. We'll talk about our rain chances. They're not great, but they are in the forecast. Coming up.
Welcome back. I never thought I'd say I like seeing 91 on that screen.
I know, it looks good. It looks good so far. And before we went to break, so Justin, so you're telling us maybe? So you're telling me there's a chance for some rain?
Well, there's a chance. It's just not a good one.
No, boo.
And I think that what you're going to notice next week, the radar, there'll be some stuff on the radar. It's just going to be few and far between. And if you do get some of the rain, it's not going to be terribly heavy. But look, at this point, it's, again, I've been saying it all week, small victories. We'll take it. It's something different than the pattern we've been in. And if you're doing some traveling over July 4th, it's going to be a very busy travel holiday, so they say. It looks like we are having some delays now starting to show up at the airports. Yesterday was a bad day at the airports. There were a lot of delays. Denver is the one I'm seeing right now that kind of jumps off the page here. And that's a place where they're seeing some storms. And it's forecast to, we're going to see more storms across parts of the plains in the Midwest. So this is an area here where we could see some of those thunderstorms develop. So if you're watching us from places, or not watching us, but if you're flying to places like Kansas City, St. Louis, Nashville, Denver, those are areas that could see some delays this afternoon with some storms. Forecast to pop up, just a heads up for you there. And if you're traveling on the roads, not so bad here in Texas. If you're heading west to El Paso, 103 today. It's going to be one of the hot spots in the state, but no issues on the roads other than when it gets this hot, you got to watch for the tires. You have greater risk of a blowout or something like that. So just be careful. But otherwise, no big issues there. Meantime, down at the coast, temperatures are in the 90s. If you have plans to head down to Port A or Rockport this weekend, all looks good. We will add in a rain chance on Monday, 20%. Seas will be 2 to 3 feet, not a big deal. Water temperatures are 84 to 89, so plenty warm there. As we look at our forecast here locally, we've got some clouds that are starting to dissipate. It was a fairly cloudy morning, but these are starting to go away. So partly cloudy here, and as we look at the big picture, what you'll notice is a big void as far as rain goes here over parts of Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, and that's because that's where our ridge high pressure is now. Everything's moving up and around it. Still has some influence on us, though. It's still keeping any rain west of us, but there's some rain in parts of New Mexico and far northwest Texas. There's the ridge, and underneath this high pressure today, temperatures are going to soar in places like Jackson, Mississippi, Memphis, Little Rock. These are heat index values, not air temperature, but a lot of humidity here and temperatures in the triple digits, and they're basically seeing what we saw last week with this big ridge. Outside right now, 92 at the airport. Dew point is at 71, but falling. Southerly winds at 14. And winds have been fairly breezy today. We've seen some pretty good gusts to 24 at the airport. This helps too. You know, when you have a breeze, it makes it feel a little bit cooler out there, I suppose, as opposed to just sort of stagnant air. So look for some breezy winds this afternoon. Temperatures up around 99 with a feels like temperature of 102 at 4 o'clock. And we'll see that heat index stick around into the evening hours. So if you have outdoor plans, you're heading out to the movies or dinner tonight, just know it'll be warm. You probably already knew that. And temperatures will fall down into the 80s eventually tonight. It is a CPS Energy yellow day. It's been that way for the last week or so. Another one of those days where we got to try to conserve a little bit of electricity with these temperatures. So where does that high pressure go? Where does it move? It moves out of the way and actually moves pretty far east, moves over Florida by Monday. So this does open up the door. There's no big trigger to come in and bring us good rain, good widespread rain. But with the high out of the way, you'll get some of these air mass thunderstorms. And another place I want to watch is along the coast. So Tuesday and Wednesday, we can get the sea breeze trying to work in, and that can sometimes kick up some showers and storms. It's not going to be good coverage. So 20% chance for most of us Tuesday and Wednesday, and probably going into Thursday as well. Here's how it looks in the 7-day forecast. 99 Saturday, 98 Sunday. We bring the temperatures down just a little bit with those added clouds and those chances for rain. Independence Day, still looking at a high of 97. It'll still be hot. We'll have the chance for an isolated storm or two in the afternoon.
I have a feeling people are going to be gravitating to the pool, the beach.
You read my mind. I was going to say, I know that's just a graphic, but that beach looked very refreshing.
It did. You know, it's always a little bit cooler when you're right on the beach there. It feels a little bit better. Yeah.
Speaking of the beach, coming up next in sports, we're on Wemby Watch as the Spurs get set to hit the West Coast to start Summer League play. We'll hear from some of the summer squad here in just a bit. And a San Antonio native is shining on the diamond. What Rangers player Josh Young is doing for the franchise that has not been done for more than 40 years. Sports is coming up next. We're getting our first look at Victor Wembanyama in silver and black as the Spurs Summer League training camp continues today at their practice facility. Victor looking pretty good there. So he will actually skip the California Classic and will join the Spurs in Las Vegas late next week. The Cali squad will be led by second-year guards Malachi Branham and Blake Wesley. Summer League head coach Matt Nielsen likes the attitude and work ethic both guys are bringing to the offseason workouts.
We have good players in this team, skill sets, all that kind of stuff, but their attitudes are in the right spot right now. They're hungry, they want to get better, and you can say all that, but the actions that, Blake's, Malachi's, and Jeremy's, and the list goes on, have been in here doing the reps at all hours, and I think that's the most exciting part, is giving them a chance to now play and use some of that in the summer is great.
They definitely want to see us grow from the first Summer League last year and, this year. So I feel like all the players, from me, Blake, Julian, Dom, all that, I feel like we all are taking a step. So I'm really excited to play.
Well, the Spurs were also excited to meet their new teammates in Wemby and Sidi Sissoko. KSAT Sports went one-on-one with Blake Wesley after practice to get his thoughts on Wembanyama.
When I first learned about it, I saw his highlights. People know what he can do. People know what he can do on the court. So he's long, athletic, can dunk very easy, can shoot it. And then when I first saw him walk into it, I was like, wow, this is my first time seeing him. He's long and shook his hands big. So I'm like, yeah, we're blessed to have this guy. 7'3", 7'5". Right. That's big, and it can like a guard. So that's good.
Have you already daydreamed a little bit about throwing him a sweet lob and he just throws it?
For sure, yeah. It's gonna be lobs in Summer League in Vegas for sure. It's gonna be a lot of lobs. He's gonna get passing ball, a lot of assists, pick and pop. So yeah.
Cannot wait for that. Well, the Spurs will play 2 games in the California Classic on July 3rd and the 5th before heading to Las Vegas. All right, how about some high school hoops now? Providence basketball star Callista Bird Martin is one of the best combo guards, not only in the city, but the country. Well, she's ranked 91st overall in the class of 2024 by ESPNW, and back on June 10th, Martin verbally committed to Texas Tech. We stopped by Providence to ask her what the Red Raiders coaching staff liked about her game.
She said she loves my versatility, that I can play 1 through 4, and that's what she's looking for. She loves big guards, and so that's what the big thing for me and for her that she saw in me.
Okay. Yeah. Tell me about playing with SA Finest, man. You got some good players on that squad.
Yes. I love SA Finest. I've been playing for Coach Ray since I was in 7th grade, and I love everything about Finest. It's going to be like one of the hardest things leaving Finest, but I think he's prepared me well for my next step in my basketball career.
Okay. What are you going to miss about playing high school ball here with Providence?
So I think I'm going to miss the girls the most, especially because we were a really young team this year. And so it was a lot of fresh, 8th graders coming out of 8th grade. And I'm really going to miss them. I feel like they look up to me and they've said that, which is really big for me. And I think I'm going to miss them most.
Martin's future is pretty clear. She's taking summer school to graduate from Providence in December so she can join Texas Tech in January of next year. 4 members of the Texas Rangers were voted to be Major League Baseball All-Star starters, including third baseman Josh Young. Young will join teammates Jonah Heim, Marcus Semien, and Corey Seager in Seattle for the All-Star game. Young is from MacArthur High School right here in San Antonio and is set to become the first Rangers rookie to start an All-Star game since the franchise moved to Texas in 1972. And speaking of accolades, check this out. UTSA's football team was celebrating this week because the guys just got their Conference USA championship rings. So back-to-back CUSA champs, and it feels so good. The Roadrunners will officially join the American Athletic Conference on July 1st. You like that bling? I like that bling there from Rashad Wisdom.
Yeah, and his energy, bling. Right?
Yeah.
He's giving it that Friday feel, right?
If I had that bling, I'd be dancing too, probably. Yeah.
All right, we have more to come. Now, millions of Americans have their travel plans in place for the 4th of July. And while most airlines say they are ready for the rush, at least one carrier is still marred by delays and cancellations.
And new today at 5, keeping your front and backyards green during the hot summer months. Yeah, it's a job all by itself. To make it happen, you need the right tools. We'll show you which ones have the top recommendations today at 5 after Entertainment Tonight.
And SA Live, always having lots of fun. Whoa, what is that? So much fun. We'll get a sneak peek in the next half hour. Now to the holiday travel rush. It's expected to be an all-time record for a July 4th weekend.
AAA is predicting more than 50 million people will travel for the holiday. ABC's Rena Roy has more.
Whether by car, train, or plane, millions are traveling this July 4th weekend. And many are already dealing with chaos at airports.
It's been kind of hectic. We've been stuck at the airport for quite some time. A lot of canceled flights. Everything's going bad. We're getting put in hotels. So we try to make it out of here and get back to our family.
More than 7,000 flights have been canceled since Saturday.
We were told to go to customer service. There's a 7-hour wait in the customer service line. People had been standing there for days.
United Airlines hit the hardest, even as other airlines get back to normal. Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg tweeting out, with the exception of United, airlines have recovered to a more typical cancellation delay rate. The TSA expecting to screen 17.7 million people over the holiday weekend, most of them expected today.
We're staffed and prepared. Our officer retention is greatly improved. We also have some new screening technology equipment that's been deployed at many airports.
The roads will also be busy. AAA estimates 43.2 million Americans will be traveling by car. That's up about 2.5% from last year and 4% from 2019.
And just some travel tips for you to avoid congestion. If you're hitting the road today, experts say your best bet will be after 6 p.m. and tomorrow before noon, with the worst traffic likely hitting shortly after that. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Taking a live look at live cam, taking you outside, and we see some people there on the roads, maybe trying to get out of town for the weekend, but it's still very hot across the area.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of people traveling, so the interstates will be busy today. We showed you the airport delays earlier. Right now it's just Denver reporting a big delay, but there likely will be some more this afternoon as some severe weather pops up across the country. I want to show you a graphic of the Edwards Aquifer. You know, we keep you up to date on the aquifer, but I do need to let you know that we dropped down to 633 today. That is the lowest we've been since last fall, and this number is still going down. We are still within stage 2 watering restrictions when it comes to SAWS customers. That's once a week watering between 7 to 11 a.m. and 7 to 11 p.m. Of course, pumpers of the Edwards Aquifer under some different guidelines. And if this number drops below 630, then there will be some stricter guidelines there. Again, not for SAWS customers, but for pumpers under the EAA. So it's something to watch. This number is really low, and it's fallen some 15 feet just this month now that we're in pumping seasons. Not a good sign there. Forecast for today, 99. Heat index will be somewhere around 102. It's in the very high category, but still again trending downward from where we have been. And the rain chances, where do we stand there? We've got some very small chances Sunday and Monday, but slightly better odds Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And this is just that isolated afternoon pop-up shower. Nothing too heavy, but it will drag temperatures down, which is always nice. Coming up here in just a few minutes, we're going to look at the tropics. We've got a new hurricane that has formed in the Pacific, guys. More on that in just a few.
The Biden administration could soon approve sending controversial weapons to Ukraine. It is strongly considering the transfer of cluster munition warheads to Ukraine. A final decision is expected soon from the White House. If approved, the weapons could be included in a new military aid package as soon as next month. Ukrainian officials have been pushing the U.S. to provide the weapons since last year, but the U.S. had been reluctant because of the risk they could pose to civilians. That's because the weapons are similar to landmines. They scatter bomblets across the large areas, but can fail to explode on impact and pose a long-term risk to anyone who encounters them.
We're learning more about the 2021 deadly shooting on the Rust film set. Court documents show that an unnamed witness said movie armorer Hannah Gutierrez-Reed had cocaine on her the day of the films the cinematographer there was shot. Gutierrez-Reed was charged with tampering with evidence. That's in addition to the 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter that were filed earlier this year. Gutierrez-Reed's attorney called the new charges character assassination and questions the legitimacy of the evidence coming 20 months after that fatal incident. Witnesses have told investigators that Gutierrez-Reed had been drinking heavily and smoking marijuana during the production.
A study found Texas' 2021 abortion ban led to nearly 10,000 additional births. The ban, which went into effect that September, essentially banned abortions after a fetal heartbeat is detected. That means about 5 to 6 weeks after the last menstrual cycle. Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health researchers examined data and created a model of the number of expected births without the ban. They estimate nearly 9,800 live births between April and December 2022 would not have happened if the ban had not been enacted.
Contractors working with the Department of Health and Human Services are the latest targets of a sweeping cyber attack. At least 100,000 people could have had their data compromised in the breach, and they're believed to be carried out by Russian criminal groups. The hack exploited a vulnerability in transfer software. So far, the hacking group has not installed any ransomware on any target systems. Instead, investigators believe they are targeting individual owners of stolen data with extortion demands. It's not known who they have approached or if anyone has paid any money.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has given the green light to 2 new RSV vaccines for older adults, and it expects them to be available in the fall. The endorsement from the CDC director follows recommendations from the agency's Independent Vaccine Advisory Committee and approvals from the Food and Drug Administration. The vaccine from GSK, formerly called GlaxoSmithKline, was the world's first RSV vaccine for older adults, and the vaccine from Pfizer was the second to be approved by the federal agencies. RSV is a highly contagious virus that causes flu-like illnesses in people of all ages.
All right, coming up, and with 4th of July on the horizon, the celebrations are already beginning. How you can celebrate Independence Day starting this weekend.